just so that you don't target them, you shouldn't go after any illegals because there could be mistakes. Does that make any sense?
Well, Edie, we have cities all across the nation that are now shield cities, sanctuary cities, and in this case, you know, we need to go after the business owners that are hiring them and the landlords that are hiring them. And the mayor might as well say, you know, it's a sanctuary city for murderers and violent criminals and anyone else. And I think he would have a lot of explaining to do to those families or the citizens of San Francisco who are victims of violent crime because of we're allowing these sanctuary laws to again, welcome criminals.
Now, the sanctuary, you know, calling yourself a sanctuary city, does it really have any kind of legal meaning?
No, well, it does, in a sense that means that the mayor, who is very possessive, obviously, of his city, saying that his employees will not enforce or work with federal immigration officials. Again, that's telling your law enforcement officers in the city that in the course of your daily duties, if you happen to come across someone who has no ID or you suspect being in the country illegally, hands off. So that means that you have illegal immigrants from all over the world in San Francisco and in the United States. How does he know it's not a criminal? And basically you're giving criminals a free pass in your city.
Well, on Friday, 13 foreign nationals working here in the country illegally, working at Eagle Bag Corporation, which has clients including the U.S. military, were arrested. But I guess that if people here who are here in America illegally know about this, the concern is that crime families or criminal organizations know about it too. Would that make these cities the most logical place to go?
Absolutely, and you see Chicago, you see New York City, you see Miami, Florida, other big cities. Look, the smugglers and the criminal syndicates that smuggle people and drugs into this country are very resourceful and very knowledgeable of the laws and which cities it is safer to do business in. They're major hubs for moving people. Here in Phoenix, we have the same issue, and we're trying to battle that in the state with abolishing these sanctuary laws, giving federal or local law enforcement the authority to enforce federal immigration laws, which they do.
All right. I want to ask you about something else. You got a very chilly, we can use that word, violent reception a couple days ago in Michigan. Take a look at this.
So the option is
well, people shouting you down, as well as, according to the reports, assaulting police officers who came in. Folks were asked to leave, and those who didn't were arrested by the police. Is this something that you normally get? I know that you've been on a tour of the country, various campuses.
Yes, we've seen the same reaction at NYU, University of Texas Austin, San Antonio, and now at Michigan State University. These groups are violent and they are dangerous, and they're militant extremists. And I tell you, when you have to be picked up from your hotel by undercover law enforcement and taken to a university in this nation and are asked to wear a bulletproof vest because of the potential for violence, I think that's disturbing. It's a disturbing trend.
Well,
and they're nothing short, Edie, of a vigilante lynch mob, and that's all they would need is rope without law enforcement, and I'd be hanging from a light post.
We assume that on college campuses, especially if you are a speaker who has been asked to come to the campus by a legitimate student organization, that at least you'll be listened to. I mean, free speech, people can then question you and you know, argue against whatever statements you're making. Did you get that opportunity to actually speak your mind?
Yes. Yes, I did. After about 5 or 6 arrests, after they cleared the room, the same thing was true of NYU. Then the students remaining, we had a reasoned, logical, and compassionate discussion about how we're going to solve this problem. And that's the message I'm trying to bring to college campuses and elicit students in a debate, because they're going to, ultimately they're going to inherit this problem, and they need to be leaders, and they need to understand the complexities of the issue. I mean, these students actually were during the invocation, were shouting down the person talking about God. They were talking about how the murders on Virginia Tech campus were justified in some way. That's despicable behavior, and I think the college officials need to certainly discipline these students.
Well, those students, in fact, are now saying that they were the targets of violence by the police, that they should not have been taken out, and that they want the organizations that invited you removed from the campus. They want compensation for what happened, a public apology from the university, and all the charges against them dropped.
Well, of course, they want to play the racist card as always, and play, they have this victocrat mentality. They're the ones that engaged in the violent behavior. I mean, and I have it on my own video camera. They're spitting on people. They're assaulting police officers. They're punching other people in the back when police aren't looking. I mean, they're a menace to society, some of these people. Some of them flashing gang signs on college campuses. That's a dangerous precedent, and I think college officials need to take a close look at all of the video footage and see who the real aggressors were in this situation.
All right, we appreciate you joining us. And now to get this university side of this, we are joined by university spokesperson Terry Denbo from Michigan State. Thanks for being with us. You had a number of students arrested. I believe one of the people arrested was not a student. The rest all were.
Correct.
Is there any action to be taken against people who do not go along with university policy, which is to allow speakers to come in and say their mind, and then, you know, if you want to have dialogue, have that afterwards?
Correct. The university policy not only allows for dissent, it encourages dissent, but it also precludes disruption, because the debate in a free and open marketplace ideas must be free and open. So the students who were arrested, the 4 of the 5, will, be subjected to what the courts determine. If a student or a member of the community brings charges internally against them, that would be considered as well.
Now, this is kind of interesting. According to the state news, actually, there was a university official at this who says that he was there, or she, Lee June, Vice President for Student Affairs and Services.
That's a he, and I was there also.
Yeah, but he made the statement that he was there to see whether or not Mr. Simcox would violate policy and give avenues to take action against him.
No, he was there to see that the free and open marketplace of ideas was kept open, that dissent was allowed but disruption was not, because dissent is part of the academic philosophy of Michigan State University. It's not only encouraged, but it's valued. Disruption is anti-intellectual because it precludes a bad idea getting out or a good idea getting out.
Well, you know what the demands are now. The folks who were arrested say they want you to kick these student organizations off campus. They want some sort of damages paid to them, compensation. What will you do?
Well, we have another set of demands from another organization that are 180 degrees away from that. We'll assess all, quote, demands. We will look at all evidence, and we will address them appropriately. But we want to make sure that the public knows, the taxpayers know, and that the academic community knows that tolerance of disruption won't be accepted. This isn't an endorsement of anybody's content at all. This isn't an opinion on who is right and who is wrong. It's an opinion and a viewpoint and a philosophy on a university's role in making sure that debate is allowed, and that dissent is allowed, and that Chris Simcox or anybody else gets questioned and is allowed to answer those questions and is allowed to be challenged in a free and open marketplace.
All right. Terry Denbo, Michigan State University, Vice President for the University Relations there. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Edie.